Let's talk about marital property agreements. That's the real formal word for it. They're commonly known as prenups or postnups. Now, why would somebody want a prenup? You know, you see on television and in movies, people want prenups to protect their millions and millions and millions of dollars or all their assets. And in Texas, that's not the case. If you own something prior to marriage, it's your separate property. It can't be divided. You own it. So why would you do a prenup? And here's why. What you're doing is paying a fee now, like insurance. That's the best analogy I can come up with. You're paying a fee now to make sure that everybody understands at the get-go that what you have will always be your separate property. That's what the law says. So we're just going to paper that, list out all the accounts and the assets so that, God forbid, you get a divorce. Neither one of you has to spend thousands and maybe tens of thousands of dollars on tracing experts 20 years later to try to determine what you owned prior to marriage and prove that it's your separate property. So it's a smart idea, if you have assets that are of substance, to go ahead and eliminate that potential cost in the future by having a prenup. The other thing you need to know about prenups is this: they're not forever. After 5 years, 6 years, 10 years, you can revoke them. So I don't need this anymore. We're great. Let's talk about postnuptial agreements. Now, why would anybody have a postnup if they've been married? Here's the most common reason. There's a big gap in the Texas Family Code. You either file for divorce or you don't. And while you're married, there's a legal fiction that you're the same person, which means both of you own all the assets. Problem with that is, most of the time, all those assets are controlled by one party or the other. So you end up with one party controlling all the bank accounts and brokerage accounts and giving the other person an allowance. And that sucks. But you don't want a divorce. That situation needs to be remedied. So you can call us and we'll draft a postnuptial agreement, which basically divides the community estate now, puts the accounts in one party's name and these are accounts in your name, then it's all divided, thereby avoiding a divorce and costly litigation. If that doesn't work and your relationship doesn't improve, you can file for divorce, but there's no property to fight about because you've already divided it. It's a very inexpensive way to avoid a potentially extremely expensive process. That's why people do it.